don't know me, my name is Lauren. I am Mary Jean's youngest grandchild. My strongest memories of my granny go back to when I was younger. I guess if I had to sum up how I saw her, through the eyes of my younger self, I would call her the day saver, because she would tend to save the day and bail me out of things. For example, one day I had been in her house all day long while my dad and Papa were working on building a barn. I guess I was tired from probably the one nail I'd hit that day and was ready to go home. So she drove me home in my Papa's old truck. Well, on the way there, my door flung open as we were traveling down the road, and she instinctively grabbed onto me like nobody's business, and with great force, pulled me back towards her. Afterwards, I wouldn't talk to her, I was so scared. But mostly I was scared because I was afraid she would find out that I had gotten bored while outside that day and had been putting all sorts of grass and sticks and anything else that would fit inside the keyhole of my passenger side of my Papa's old truck. I figured I was to blame for the truck door opening, but all was well because she saved the day that day in my life. She still even recently talked and laughed about the day I was in the 3rd grade, and she was taking me to school, and right as we were pulling into the parking lot of the elementary, I yelled out, "Oh crap, I forgot my lunch." She got a kick out of my choice of words, and then told me she had me covered, and pulled out some lunch money for me. Again, she saved the day. One winter, when we were up in the woods during deer season, she and I were sitting at the table playing checkers. All of a sudden, a small mouse ran across my feet, and I screamed so loudly and jumped up on the chair. When Granny caught on to what was happening, she ran and got the broom. She started sweeping the mouse towards the door, as if the two of them were in a brawl, and kept telling me to get down from the chair and go open the door, to which I merely replied, "No way." She had to do it all. By the time she got the mouse to the door, he was staggering around like he had a few too many, but once again, she saved the day and my life. There was a comfort and a humor about my granny. To make me and my sisters, Jean and Angela, laugh, she used to do a cheerleader jump, where she would jump up, both legs going outwards to touch her toes. We would laugh so hard and ask her over and over to show us again, and over again she complied. She and I used to play countless games with the card game Old Maid, and I can still hear her laugh as I would try to trick her into picking the Old Maid card from my hand. I'm pretty sure she always tried to make it so that I would win. She was a good granny to me growing up, and even now, going through some of her things, I find evidence of how much she loved me. She kept the smallest things, like the note I wrote her when I was 9, telling her that she was my heat because I had forgotten the R in the word heart. I love that she obviously didn't correct me. In more recent time, I got the chance to get to know her again. I thank God for this past year because I know it's because of Him that she and I were given that opportunity. I'm now 33, and even very recently found myself lying on her bed with her, each of us with our hands propped under our heads, chatting and laughing as if I were 9 years old again. When I would talk to her about things that troubled me, her constant advice and words of wisdom were always, "Ask God to help you, and He will." And I can also still hear her tell me, "Everything will be all right, Luther." Unfortunately, death is a part of life that we cannot stop. Time runs out for us all, and it is what we do with our time that is so important. It's about the way we love one another and the words we speak, for there is healing in love and encouraging words. But while death is the part we have no control over, regret is something we are able to prevent. I recently found those Old Maid cards in my granny's things, and my mom encouraged me to take them and go play with your hands with her. I did not. I wanted to, but I just never got around to it. I know that there is not one person here today who isn't living with some sort of regret. I want to encourage you that if you can correct it, and make things right while you have the chance. And for those regrets that we have that they cannot be fixed, my advice is to give it to God. And as the lyrics to one of my favorite worship songs go, I don't have time to maintain these regrets when I think about the way He loves us. While I do feel cheated that I didn't get to spend the amount of time that I wanted to with my granny, I will hang on to the good memories, and in my mind, I will forever replay her smile and her laugh, and have peace knowing that she loved me and that she knew I truly loved her.